Companies will use different methodologies, but they are all usually variations of the STAR method. The STAR method is a structured manner of responding to behavioral-based interview questions by discussing the specific situation, task, action, and result of the situation you're describing. Interviews will usually be a mix of behavioral, tell me about a time when type questions, and technical sales-related questions. At larger companies, the interview process is very standardized to minimize bias, and they're looking to determine your growth potential and culture fit, as well as your current abilities. It's important to be comfortable talking about anything on your resume, as well as general information about the company and product that you are interviewing for. Most technical preparation does not need to go deeper than what you see on the website, including white papers and case studies. Make sure to lean on the recruiter for any interview guides and suggested topics to focus on. It's also good practice to ask for the names of the scheduled interviewers so that you can research their backgrounds on LinkedIn beforehand. Let's take a look at some common interview questions as well as the right and wrong way to answer them with Ross and Christine.
Nice to meet you. I'm just kidding.
Great for coming in.
Yeah.
Christine, thanks for joining us.
Thank
Take
you,
a seat.
Tom.
Yeah. So Ross, tell me, why do you want to break into the world of tech?
First of all, fantastic question. Admittedly, I have been trying to get a PS5 for like a year and a half. And I know chip shortage and all that stuff. And so, I just kind of need some money so I can afford one. Scalpers and all that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like reps that are money driven. You know, we've all got our expensive hobbies, so.
I'm passionate about tech. Leap at any challenge that comes my way. Your product seems excellent and I love to win. I don't just want to be an SDR, but I want to be a great AE someday. And I know down the line I could add a lot of value to your team.
That's great. I mean, I love to hear that you're career driven. Here we specifically promote a lot internally. So SDR is definitely meant to be more of a transitionary role. So I'm glad to hear that you have that ambition to go above and beyond.
While it's important for potential sales reps to be motivated by money and performance, hiring managers are looking for someone that's in it for more than just a quick buck. This career is unique in that most hiring happens from within, meaning that the SDRs and BDRs of today are the potential sales managers of the future. With that in mind, a key part of your answer should be your career aspirations. They're looking for someone who wants to make a career out of tech sales. It also doesn't hurt to talk about any outside interests that you might have in the tech industry or the space that the specific company that you're interviewing at is in.
One question I have, I'm looking at your background here at your resume. I don't really see any prior sales experiences. Do you have any background in selling? Like, what makes you think you'd be good at it?
Back in college, I used to deal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, Tom, I played competitive volleyball in my college years, and that really taught me how to be competitive and be a team player and never give up.
And so I had to sell a variety of products to a bunch of different people. And it was very lucrative.
So you like manage your own territory, forecasted.
Right, the greater Los Angeles area. Yeah.
Okay.
I would not go into certain areas because, I might get killed, but.
Right, you got to respect the other
You gotta stay
territories
in your
from
own
other
territory.
reps, right? Okay.
You get it.
Okay.
If I make 100 unsuccessful cold calls, I'll make 100 more to make sure I get that meeting.
That's great. I mean, I'm glad that you brought up the volleyball. I used to play competitive bowling back in college. I think you really develop like this work ethic and this competitive drive, and you learn to be a team player playing competitive sports, and that really carries over to sales. So
chances are this might not be just your first tech sales role, but it could be your first sales role in general. And that's okay. Hiring managers are looking for leading indicators of strong sales reps, which is why Christine's answer about her strong sports performance was a great one. A high-performing sales rep will be a fast learner, coachable, a team player, self-motivated, and committed for the long term. Think about your life experiences and how they demonstrate these different traits and tie those back to your answer into why you think you'd be good in sales.
what drew you to our company and the software that we sell?
Well, first of all, that's news to me. You guys sell software, but I read on your company's site you guys give everybody MacBook Pros, and I'm actually an up-and-coming DJ, and they've got GarageBand, so I figured I can get some practice in there.
Your product dominates the marketplace, and I know I could crush quota adding that kind of value add to the industry. More importantly, Sasha, my friend who used to work here, she couldn't speak highly enough of the culture and the leadership style that you guys have established.
That's great. Yeah, I actually did see the referral attached from Sasha. Very important. She spoke very highly of you.
Error.
Okay. I mean, but do you know what we actually sell, our software?
I do not.
You may laugh, but the number of people that interview for tech sales positions without knowing anything about the company or the software is higher than you would expect. You don't need to go into a lot of technical detail, but you should at least spend some time going through the company's website, knowing what their products are at a high level, and knowing what problems they solve for their customers. Published case studies are a great resource for this, and they usually provide a very concise description of how the product specifically helped a customer solve a very specific problem. Try to tie your background or your outside experiences to either the company, the industry that the company is in, or even details about the founding team.
I think that's about all the questions that I have on my end. Do you have any questions for me or about the company in general?
Yes, I actually have a few written down here.
Let me just check my notes.
What's onboarding like here? What makes members of your team great at selling? How much mentorship will I receive here?
Actually, yes. This unlimited vacation policy. I could just leave, go to Mykonos, never come back.
Assuming I do really great at this role, how quickly do you expect me to get to the next level?
The absolute worst way to answer this would be to say, no, I think I'm all good. Interviews are just as much about you interviewing the company as they are the other way around. Having a strong list of follow-up questions shows that you're really interested in the role and that you've done your homework. You can ask questions about the company, the hiring manager, or even the industry in general. Some great questions are, what are some of the traits that you see among your high-performing sales reps? What are your team's biggest blind spots? What career options do you see for someone who's successful in this role? And what excites you most about working at this company?
So this has been great. One last question before we wrap up. What are your salary expectations for the role?
Well, I know I'm going to contribute a lot to the team, and based on my research, what would you say to a 60K base with a 90K OTE?
That sounds reasonable. I'm gonna jot that down and I'll have recruiting follow up with you afterwards.
Aren't you supposed to ask me my salary expectations? Because I got great expectations.
I mean, I'll have the recruiter reach out and share that with you, but
1 million.
okay, I'll jot that down and we'll get back to you.
Great. I do.
If you don't answer this one carefully, it can potentially hurt you and limit the offer that you'll get. You won't always get this from the hiring manager. Sometimes this comes from HR or the recruiter that's been working with you. A safe answer is something along the lines of, I'm not really comfortable talking about this right now. I'd like to focus on the actual interview itself and we can circle back later. If a recruiter asks for your current salary, you can always decline this and state that you're sure that the company will pay market rates. And again, you don't feel comfortable sharing it at this time and you'd like to focus on the actual interview itself. If you share a number that's too low, they might use that as an anchor point and you'll end up getting an offer that's much lower than what they were prepared to offer you anyway.
Thanks again for coming out. You're definitely gonna be hearing from us real soon.
Thank you, Tom.
Yeah, reception will let you out.
I'm gonna get out of here.
All right, yeah, reception will let you down.
See you.